Hi, my name is Rachel, and I will be sharing what I've learned about worship. I've learned so much that I will try to keep it short. I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that worship is a lifestyle. It's something that we get to live on a daily basis, and that takes on a lot of different expressions. It's not just singing and music, but can be applied in a lot of areas in our life. You see that in one area in the Bible. The first time worship is mentioned is when Abraham is taking Isaac up the mountain to be sacrificed. And it said that his obedience was an act of worship. So we see that our obedience can be worship. You also see that in the life of David. Of course, we all think of David as a worshiper. Not because of all the many songs he wrote, but also because he wasn't afraid to do extravagant acts for the Lord. And you see that when he's dancing through the streets wildly and not caring about the opinion of man and just wanting to pour his heart out to God. And so worship is definitely a part of singing and music and extravagant acts of our hearts just being poured out for God. And then another area where we can express our worship is in our surrender. And so a lot of people's times we see surrender as giving up of something. And really what we're giving up is a self-focused life. And what we gain is Jesus, who is true life. And in the midst of surrendering and losing who we think we are, we're gaining the life of Jesus and who we truly are in him. And Jesus was the servant of all. He said he came to serve. And he shows us that so beautifully in his life here on earth. And that was an act of worship. And so our service can also be worship to the Lord. And I think one of my favorite depictions of this in Jesus's life is when he's washing his disciples' feet. And what he's doing there is he's honoring them and he's showing them how much the Father values them. And it was an act of worship because he was revealing the heart of the Father to them. And when we reveal the Father's heart, we are honoring him and we are worshiping him. And when we are showing honor and value to those that he honors and values, it's an act of worship. So I just love that picture of Jesus. But I think what my favorite expression of worship is in the meaning of the word worship, which is a kiss or face to face. And it's in those moments when, we are turning our full attention onto the Lord. And, Ray Hughes says, what you give full attention to will eventually have your devotion. And so this could be in a worship service where we're singing and playing music. It can be in times of quiet when you're by yourself, or it can be in the middle of a really busy day. It's just that heart posture of turning our full attention to him and getting that face-to-face connection. Have you ever been in like a crowded room and you're kind of just looking around and all of a sudden you catch the eye of somebody who's staring at you and you turn away really awkwardly, like, okay, why is this person staring at me? And then you're thinking back the last 5 minutes, like, oh my gosh, did I do anything embarrassing that I'm unaware of that this person's staring at me, catching? And it's kind of this awkward moment. Well, worship is like that without the awkwardness. Because see, as we are turning our full attention to the Lord, we catch his eye, we realize that he has had his full attention on us the whole time. And he has never taken his eyes off of us. And that connection we have, we feel his love pouring into us, and we see how good he is, and we see him as the faithful Father and his kindness. And as you let those thoughts, the truth of who he really is as a good father, just pour into you, then out of your spirit, it's like bubbles up these truths to where you're now proclaiming them. And that is worshiping him in spirit and in truth. And it's not just the truth of who he is, but it's also the truth of who you really are in him. And we get to just express our gratitude and our thankfulness and all these different attributes that we're finding out about who he is, and we worship him with those realizations. And so I'm gonna end this with one of my favorite quotes from Ray Hughes. And he says, seekers become finders in moments of worship. He finds us while we find him. He seeks us while we seek him. Love finds love. And so really what worship is all about is our full attention being on him and catching his eye, realizing that his full attention is on us. And it's that connection, that heart to heart, love finds love. And that is what I have learned about worship. So thank you for listening. I hope you have a great day.